This is another one of those nobody's gonna like me videos, so you might as well just keep scrolling. But if you're still here, I'm talking about public schools. Yeesh, I know, right? Oh, so controversial. Nobody wants to talk about this. Nobody wants to hear about it. And most people say that the only reason I'm talking about it is because I'm behind a screen. Do I want to fist fight somebody in person? No. Is this also a very good platform? Yes. Is publicity good? No. Is good publicity? No. Is bad publicity good? Yes and no. I have a biblical worldview, so if that automatically turns you off, then just go away, because if I can't bring a Bible point to you and other points in the world that actually point to the Bible to make you like I can bring a Bible principle to you, and then I can bring evidence that say why the Bible principle is true without even using the Bible. So I can use a principle and I could say it comes from the Bible, or I could just say it's a Bible principle. So that's what I'm going with today. Bible principles. Boom. I'm not necessarily going to sit here and trash the public schools or the people that have to have their kids in public schools. And I'm talking like have to have their kids in public schools. I'm talking like a single mom that's working 3 jobs to keep food on the table. That type of have to have their kids. So single moms, I reach out to you and I'm here like literally virtually giving you a hug, because I cannot do what you do. I cannot fathom what you do. And if you lived close, I would help you as much as I could. Also, parents that have kids with special needs, with severe autism, and they want so bad for their children to learn things in a normal way, so to say. Okay, so I go back and forth on this. I am not downing anybody that puts their kids into special programs like that in public school to help them learn. By no means. And more often than not, it's hard to find a babysitter for those type of children anyway. So if you're trying to get a break, honey, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. So, that being said, caveats in place. Here are my top 3 reasons why my kids will not, are not, and never will go to a public school. My kids are my responsibility, first and foremost. Okay? So, how do I put this nicely? I won't. All right? Bible says, train up a child in the way you should go. That does not say government train up my child in the way he should go. That does not say public school system train up my child in the way he should go. That does not say teachers train up my child in the way he should go. No. You train up your child in the way he should go. Your kid. You take care of it. People don't add up how much time their kids are spending by influence of other people. Teachers and peers. Like, you put them on a bus at what time and they get home at what time, and how much time do you get with them a day? How are you going to teach them the principles that are valuable to your family if they are in somebody else's care that whole time? The time is almost always going to win. Almost always. I've been a kids pastor before, and that was something that burdened my heart, was the fact that these kids were spending 35, 40 hours in school, and, sometime with their parents in the evenings, depending on how busy their parents were, and then they'd come to church, maybe, and get an hour and a half with teaching. So it's like, I just felt like I picked up the burden, and I'm not there to take the place of the parents as a children's pastor. I'm here to work with the parents as a kids pastor. And so it just makes me sad to think that sometimes the kids that were in my class may have only been getting the hour and a half that I was teaching them something Bible. And also, the government, like, you get in any government program and you're going to have complaints. Like, if you're under Medicaid or Medicare, just for example, like unemployment, like health department, anything like that, everybody is going to say it sucks. Like, okay, fine, I get free stuff, but the care is not good. The customer service is not good. The quality is not there. And that's exactly the same way it is with public school. Dare I say it? Okay, I'm not talking about teachers. I know there are good teachers out there. I know so many good teachers. And I am not reaching my heart out saying that these people are bad. I am saying that the public school system in itself is not quality. Number two. And this is a good one, and it's pretty easy and understandable, but a lot of people are still going to argue with me, so I'm just going to say it anyway. The public school system is empowering themselves against parents. All right, and you might say, well, it's not happening in my hometown. Well, it's not happening, because I know all the teachers in my school. Well, it's not happening because of this. But it's like, it still all stems from the same system. There are story after story after story after story I could look up with young girls, without the parents' permission, going to get an abortion with a teacher, or the public school system setting up those type of appointments for them. I am not going into a pro-choice, pro-life conversation right now. I am saying that is something that a parent needs to be dealing with, not a teacher, not a public school system. The abortion story should be enough to scare the crud-jeebers out of anybody that wants to send their kids to public school. But there's also all of the transgender discussions and fights, and the kids being allowed to show up as a furry or to change their gender at a young... It's not a discussion about these. It's just things that the public school allow that should be brought to the parents' attention. By the way, I'm not saying that won't be a discussion for another time, because I have no problems talking about them. I'll open up that can of worms. But for this video, I'm only talking about public schools. And third, the public school system teaches blatant lies. No, they don't. Yes, they do. Okay. For instance, this is just me. If you're a Christian and you believe in creation versus evolution, it's not getting taught to your children. You're welcome. Or we could talk about the whole boy-girl situation. I'm sorry, there's only two genders. Actually, I'm not sorry. There's only two genders. We were all created boy and girl. Or what if we talked about history instead of science? Remember all those outbursts of people taking down statues and throwing them in the ground just a couple years ago because it doesn't agree with them anymore? Like, okay, let's just change history, shall we? And they started taking out history in the history books to start appeasing all of these people and start feeding lies to kids of how things actually went. How are we not going to repeat history's mistakes if we're not allowed to know history's mistakes? So I'm ending this video. It's pretty much over. I just have a couple more things to say. First off, God bless America. I love America. America's great. America's going in the tank. Yeah, that's it. So I'm only saying that because thank you for free speech. Thank you that I have a platform. And I am so grateful for the fact that I get to speak out about my values, principles, and truths. And the comments are open for conversation. Although I won't handle any kind of flat out hatefulness. Don't cuss me out. If you want to discuss stuff, let's discuss it. Let's not just slam each other with a bunch of vulgar words and think that that's the answer to the problems, because it's not going to change my mind. And I know for sure anybody that has their mind made up, this video is not going to change their mind either. So be civil. Be civil.